I'd never grow it. I'm scared of snakes. We are about to get us our sunflowers. This ain't it, y'all. I be forgetting to water this. Now, I ain't never done this before, right? It won't die. It just stung me. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. Puppy, may we go? Thank you. So we got rain last night, y'all. I'm super excited. I want to look at my rain meter thingy. Oh, not as much as I thought, though. Yeah, not nearly as much as I thought. Look at that, y'all. I'm gonna push it up so it's straight. Like what? Any rain is better than no rain. The way that it has been going around here for us. It was hot and it was dry. And I had turned on the sprinkler a little while because it was saying it was gonna rain, but then like we were just getting a bunch of thunder and a bunch of lightning, and I was like, is it gonna rain or no? So anyway, we're going on a garden tour today. And though, while we're on that garden tour, I was thinking I would plant these seeds, but I'm not. I'm gonna do it once we finish the garden tour. Things have changed. Also need to pull some things out. Oh, also, if you're new here, my name is Asia. I garden in Virginia Zone 7B. I grow in ground, no dig, raised beds, bags, green stalks, greenhouses. Yes, that's how I grow. So anyway, if you're new here, I live in an urban setting. I just grow in my backyard. Pretty much my whole backyard is a garden now. It was not like this all the time. It was only this side, and then this side I left for the dog and the kids. The kids said they didn't care anymore. The dog is pretty easygoing, and we have a front yard. So we added greenhouses and we added green stalks, and I'm excited. And we're about to replace a greenhouse, but you know, I gotta get my mind set for that. So anyway, if you're not new here, you know purple potted pole beans are one of my favorite beans, and they just have not done well this year, and I need to replant them. And I have been saying I was going to get more beans, and so I did. And I got some purple potted pole beans. These are from Baker Creek. I looked around, I couldn't find them anywhere else because Baker Creek has free shipping, but if I could get more seeds in that shipment, I was like, that's what I wanted to do. So I did get other seeds. I didn't need them though, if that makes sense. But I only did 2 other ones that I will end up using, or at least I want to try. And so I hate the name of these. I hate the name of them, but they are reminiscent of dragon tongue beans, and they're pole beans. So I want at least 2 pole bean options. Right now, my pole bean go-to is purple potted. They didn't do well this year. I don't think it has anything to do with the actual variety. Just didn't do well this year. So I did rattlesnake pole beans. As long as they not long and they don't look like a snake, because there is a snake bean that look like a snake. I'd never grow it. I'm scared of snakes. So those are gonna go on the 2 trellises closer to the fence. I'll show y'all when we are doing the garden tour. Also, if you remember, we needed to put some more sunflowers in the bags. I'm gonna direct sow all of this because we have so much rain in the forecast. I won't have to remember to water this stuff because we have rain, I want to say for like the next 5 days. So that's the only reason why I'm direct sowing it, and because I haven't gotten them started. And we are going to start our fall seeds next week. I think it's next week that we'll be starting our fall seeds. So I'm not trying to start no more summer seeds at this point. So we're gonna drop some teddy bear sunflowers. I say I'm gonna drop these after this garden tour is over. Some sunspot dwarf sunflowers. These are going into the bootstrap farmer bags that go down the main walkway. I will show you that. We're gonna drop some Space Master 80 cucumbers, and those are going in the front of the beds that's in front of the sunflowers and the beans. I will show y'all that as well. Oh, we never planted beans in the original portion of the lemon green stalk. I wish that when I did my Baker Creek order, I knew that I was out of dragon tongue beans because that's where I got those from. But I went this morning to grab them and I did not have them. So we are switching over to some Cherokee wax beans because I don't have a lot of yellow beans. So it works out fine that we need to do that because I need more yellow beans anyway. And that's what's going to go in this original planter over here. Other things that we will be doing this week or maybe next week is we're going to clear the evergreen green stalk and get that ready for potato planting. I really don't want to take my flower one down. It's beautiful. So what I'm thinking is the potatoes are gonna go into the tomato green stalk that's in the Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse because it didn't do well because I was overwatering it. So that's what I think. We're gonna have potatoes in the tomato green stock and the evergreen green stock, and we will get those planted out probably the 3rd week of July. So let us get started with the garden tour. I think we're gonna start in the main garden today. We normally start with the green stalks and the greenhouses, but I think we're gonna go ahead and get started in the main garden today. Another thing I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna pull the tomatoes in the Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse and plant these tomatoes that's on the table. I really believe that. Leave the Supremos that's in there, but everything that was already in there. So the Brad's Atomic Grape I might leave, we'll see. Also, you know what? We'll talk about it when we get in there. There's so many nets out here. All right, so we're starting here at the opening. This is my muscadine grapevine with so many muscadine grapes on it, y'all. These will not be ready for harvest until like the end of August, mid-August, end of August. But I think this is the most grapes I've had at one time ever since I've had this grapevine. And they're actually in clusters. A lot of times they fall by this point and you start to just have like, you know, 3 or 4 in a space. But like they're in clusters this year and I'm super excited about that. Like very, very excited about it. Anywho, it takes up this whole trellis. It was never meant to take up the whole trellis. This trellis was growing loofah and different things for me, but I don't prune the grapevine. And so with that being the case, it just keeps growing as much as it wants to. I'm also pretty sure we got either a family of birds or like a bird lives in there because when I come through sometimes, like there is, you can hear it and sometimes you can see it fly out as long as nothing else lives in there. I never really thought about what could be living in there until this year because I'm sure there's a bird living in there. Now, you know what else hatched out of here? Praying mantis. And they are friends of the garden. And so I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but it has happened in previous years and I thought it was really cool. So anyway, let's get started. Let's get to looking out here. If you're not new here, you know I have an asparagus bed that I am trying to allow to get stronger. So I was cutting these very early, like not letting them die back, the ferns. The way that asparagus grows is it's underground. So there's a root system under the ground. It is perennial. It does not die. It comes back every year, right? But in order for that root system to get strong, it has to get the energy from the sun. The ferns is how it gets the energy from the sun. So you are supposed to let them die all the way back on their own. I never really did that and it never was a problem until this year. So this year I am letting it do that. I'm letting it fern out and I'm just letting it do what it does. And when it dies completely back, that's when I will clean this area up. This year I'm not doing it early. I'm not going to do it early, y'all. So I think that we are getting new asparagus growing in here and it's ferning more because originally this was very like sparse looking, boneless. You know what I mean? You could see the soil. Anyway, it's looking better considering what I'm trying to do with it. If we were talking about harvest wise, this would not look great. But considering I'm just trying to strengthen the crown that's in the ground, this looks great in my opinion. Also, y'all, look at this green stalk that hardly has any answer aphids right now. I'm super duper excited. I got ant traps. That's what I did. I did not spray with neem oil and that's what worked. I'm happy with that. Hopefully, and I put them in other spaces around my house where I was seeing ants too. So hopefully we are killing colonies and they will not be back next year. I do not know, but I'm pretty excited because we aren't seeing nearly as many ants as we were. I also broke one of the larger pepper plants that was in here. I think it was a Jimmy Nardello. Very sad. But anywho, we have eggplants in here, like all over, eggplants all over. So that's exciting. This is the Jimmy Nardello plant that I broke right here. That was a really big plant. And you can see we still have some ants and aphids in here, but not nearly as much as we had. We got Jimmy Nardellos down here, cayenne peppers down here. I'm gonna tell you what, I made a mistake and ate one thinking that it was just a tiny Jimmy Nardello. My mouth was on fire, y'all. Things that need to be pulled. Pretty much all of the nasturtiums need to be pulled out of here, and I probably will feed them to the chickens. And then we got a shishito pepper in here. You got empty pockets, but you got some basil down there, basil right there. So it's looking good. Look at that eggplant. Very nice. It's another one right there. Another Jimmy Nardello. Very nice. So this one is looking good. We have finally figured out something with the ants, and I'm excited about that. Right down here, you have your pepper plants. And these also had aphids on them. We have some ant traps in here as well. Seems like it's working, but not completely. So you see that pepper right there, right here? This is ant, oh, you can see it's got a bunch of pest pressure on it. So I did start to harvest the peppers because of this. Luckily, it's only the smaller peppers. This wasn't happening to the larger peppers, so that's a plus. Anywho, I did start to pull the green peppers just so we could avoid losing all of the peppers. And we can make it work. I do cook with them. I have said that before. I don't like the bitter taste of them. So if I do cook with them, I pull them out of my food because I don't like the taste of them. I just don't. So anything that was on here that was a nice size on these plants right here, I just went ahead and pulled it, and they have plenty more time. Peppers will go right up until my last frost. So they have plenty more time. We're finally getting rid of the ants and aphids. And so now I think that they will have time to produce more, and hopefully some can ripen to red, yellow, or orange. Once we're done with all of this rain, I'm also going to do a liquid all-purpose fertilizer on them too, just to give them a boost. And I was thinking I might even just do a fish emulsion to give them a boost because they have been struggling. I'm happy that they're growing in the beds at all though, y'all. If you have been here for a while, you remember I worked on this soil 2 seasons now. I think it's been 2 seasons. I've turned this soil, added things into the soil, and I have not been able to grow peppers in these beds for a while now, peppers or tomatoes. This year we're growing both, and I'm very happy about that. Right here we have dragon tongue beans, and there are beans that are producing in here. I've been harvesting beans all week. Might not be able to find any right now because I've been harvesting them, but I harvest like every other day or maybe every 3 days. These are bush beans, and so eventually they're gonna die back, and I can either replant them or get this bed ready for fall. Because I plan to plant in like August or like mid-August this year is what I'm hoping for. Late August at the latest if it's too hot, but I might just, you know, clear this when it's done and get it ready for fall. That's a nasturtium that absolutely needs to come out. These were beautiful before it got super hot. Nasturtiums don't love hot weather. But oh, I didn't show y'all marigolds and basil back here, both of which get much bigger. I don't know what's going on here, but that's okay because we're growing peppers. So if that marigolds and basil don't do great, it's okay. I could also replant basil somewhere else too. So it's also on the other side. Oh, by the way, look at the cucumbers going up the trellis finally. And that one right there is going over to my tomato trellis. I need to put it back where it belongs. I will do that. So going down the aisle, you can see the cucumbers are looking great, and the sunflowers. So this is a cucumber. So this is one of the Space Master 80 cucumbers, pretty sure of that, yes. And then this is a sunflower. And so this is where we're going to plant those other sunflowers, because there should be cucumber, sunflower, cucumber, sunflower. But my sunflowers didn't do good with germination, or either the rain was pushing them out or the birds were pulling them out, because some of them did germinate, but they did not grow because they came out of the soil for whatever reason. Anyway, that's where we're gonna put the sunflowers that I showed y'all at the beginning of the video. So on to the peppers right beside the bed that I just showed you. They're looking amazing. We also pulled some peppers off of here. They are growing in 7-gallon bags. If you see a bag in my garden, it's a 7-gallon grow bag. Everything is 7 gallons, even if it's a different color. So you can see we still have peppers on here. These don't have aphids or ants. This group right here really hasn't had any issues with aphids or ants. So that's a plus. I did pull some of the peppers just because I just don't want to lose them. But there's peppers on a lot of these plants right here, and I'm excited about it. Now, what we did get was some sun skull, because these ones are like right in the sun. So that's another reason why I pulled the ones here, because I was seeing sun skull. I had put that in one of my community posts, but yeah, see, we even got sun skull on the leaves because they are directly in the sun right here. Think that might be a little bit right there too. So directly in the sun right here, but no answer aphids. So that's the interesting thing. And this is the cucumber I was saying we need to put back on the trellis where it needs to be. These are Armenian cucumbers. I've never successfully grown them, so I am hopeful. Okay, so those peppers look amazing. I'm excited. Oh goodness, what's going on here? This is that tomato. I never came through and staked them. That's another problem. They're in a tomato cage, but I never staked them. So the tomato cage is not really helpful. And this one is laden down with tomatoes though. Like there's tomatoes everywhere. Y'all see that? There is a lot of tomatoes on these plants. These are patio tomatoes. They did great. They are doing very good this year. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be one of my go-to red tomatoes. For one, it grows actually like a bush. I am seeing that a lot of these determinate tomatoes, they still grow like long vines. I want actual bush tomatoes. Patio tomatoes are bush tomatoes. They're not getting huge and they're not doing like a 5-foot vine and stopping. So right here are the patio tomatoes I was telling you about. Also, cucumber right here, it's just not doing great, y'all. And it looks bad. It looks really, really bad. What's that? It looks like some kind of poop. Anyway, it looks bad, but that's a cucumber on this trellis. I don't think it's gonna do much. Some basil that I really need to stop from flowering. Basil gonna try to flower on you, baby. No matter what, it's gonna try to flower. So I'm just pulling the tips off so that it won't. But see, we got some in there that's flowering. Got some marigolds back there. But all of these are patio variety. They produce pretty good sized tomatoes. I just got them in these cages very late and they just still kind of all over the place. But look at all those tomatoes. I think I will next year make sure that I plant some of these to just have waiting to go in because I think they're gonna die out soon in the garden anyway. Oh, looky here. We are about to get us our sunflowers. These are the dwarf sunflowers I was telling y'all about. What are they called? Teddy bear, dwarf sunflowers I was telling you about. But we also have some purple beans in here. These are royal burgundy and they haven't done great this year so far, but we have time. There's still time. But yeah, there's flowers and a few beans. There goes another one right there. But I've been harvesting, oh, look at that. Maybe I need to come out here and look now. They're maybe putting on their flush. But yeah, lots of beans in there. At the end is black beans. All of the black beans are going to stay on the plant, dry on the plant. I say it every garden tour, but just in case you're new here, I like to say it every time. So we're kind of going out of order, but y'all, these are Supremo tomatoes, early girl tomatoes, super sauce tomatoes, all growing on this cattle panel trellis in the middle of the garden. This is the first time I think that I've grown tomatoes on a cattle panel, and I actually really like this. It's very sturdy. Look at this Supremo. I harvested one Supremo. I'm waiting for this one though. That thing is huge. That's huge. And we got early girls right here. I've been harvesting everything as soon as it starts to blush. I haven't really seen the birds like doing anything recently, but just to be safe. And y'all, we still got flowers popping up and new tomatoes, so that's exciting. I like this. These are indeterminates on this cattle panel. So thing here is my cattle panel isn't that tall. So as they start to grow, they're starting to kind of come off of the cattle panel, but it's not a big deal for me. Like, see right here? And if we were to get a hard rain, I imagine that this would break, but it's okay. And we got new flowers, new tomatoes. This is doing great. I do like the cattle panel. I might next year lift it up further up off the ground, which will make it taller. So we shall see. Let us go on down here to some more pepper plants that were laden with ants and aphids. And you can still see we have some, but not nearly as many as we had. This is a poblano pepper that we have not gotten many. Well, we haven't gotten any poblanos off, so I'm nervous about that. And the other poblano we had, it died. It was in the green stalk. So maybe these just weren't really healthy plants. We have a shishito pepper here. You see that there. We have jalapenos right here. This is another jalapeno plant right here. Oh, this is a cayenne pepper. So I was expecting to see cayennes by now. We got little tiny ones. I would expect to see cayennes by now is what I mean. And then down here you have more green peppers, and all of these plants have peppers on them. You see that one back there? That's a nice size one in there, but there's more on the plant. Same back here. These plants had ants and aphids too, so we're just hopeful that we have done what we needed to do in order to get rid of them and in order to allow these plants to actually grow and produce fruit for us. Y'all, these tomatoes back here look terrible. They look absolutely terrible. And so this is one of the reasons why I kind of wish I had kept up with, you know, starting seeds. I do have more tomatoes, but I would really like to kind of rip out the Cherokee Purple, rip out the Great White, and try again, but I don't have any more tomatoes. And I could, and y'all know I don't really love to do it, but I could find a sucker and try to root a sucker and try to replant them. So I might do that just because I'm out of options, but I haven't gotten nearly as many of these tomatoes as I would like. And we're in July now, so yeah. But there's more early girls back here, which we love those too, so not complaining about those. And these are San Marzanos, except for this one right here, which is a Great White. They didn't do great over here this year. I don't know. I've grown them before. I'm not saying anything bad about them because I've grown them before with no issue, but yeah, they didn't do great back here. And there was a point when I wasn't watering well too, so that could have something to do with me. Now, what I will tell you is this Haas Hodanova trellis, great. I absolutely love it. Definitely will be in the garden next year. And where the trellises are that I don't really love, that's what will take the place of those, is this Haas Hodanova trellis. It was easy to set up. I'm sure it would be easy to take down, and it's strong. Like, look at these tomatoes just standing straight up. There's give in it, of course, but like, yeah, this is strong. I love this option to grow tomatoes on as well. So over here are my purple potted pole beans. They look absolutely awful. Y'all see that? They actually look like my cucumber plants. Haven't seen any Japanese beetles. They're getting eaten up really, really bad. So I'm gonna pull these out and I'm gonna replant this. Now, I also probably am going to pull these dahlias because they look pretty bad too. I also wanna amend this soil, like really work the rabbit manure into the soil as well, because it didn't seem to break down on the top for me. Maybe we don't have the environment, climate, weather for it to really quickly break down on the top. This is a new bed too. So you can see the rabbit manure is still just like sitting on the top where I put it. So I'm gonna rip out everything in this bed, replant my beans, maybe do some cucumbers on the back end. I'm really not sure. But the dahlias, the beautiful, beautiful dahlias, they're not really that beautiful anymore. That's gonna be number one. And number two, I think I need to work on the soil in this bed. And so we're gonna clear that whole bed out. I'm probably gonna record it anyway. You know, at first I was like, I'm just gonna do it, but I might record it because I feel like it'll be a nice working day in the garden. So yeah, beans gonna go. We're gonna get those replanted and figure out what else we're gonna put in this bed with the beans. Completely forgot to show y'all the cantaloupe that's in here going up the trellis. So I think we might get cantaloupe. This one too is going up the trellis. And I think that's because these plants are kind of dying out, and so now these can get some sun. Hopefully it's not too late. I was talking to my daughter about the watermelon and she was like, did you grow any cantaloupe? She prefers cantaloupe over watermelon. So I was like, yes, but hopefully they will start to grow because she really wants cantaloupe. And I normally grow cantaloupe pretty well, honestly. I just didn't think about it getting shaded this year. The zinnias are looking good still, so I'm excited about that. I have started to deadhead them. Like this one is ready to go. Like if it moves like this, I saw this on somebody else's channel, I can't remember who. Moves like this is ready to go. Moves like this, see how it's like really wobbly? It's not ready to go. Anywho, we have zinnias and they look absolutely beautiful. I think somebody asked me about the zinnias or the dahlias. Either way, they're both from Florette, Florette Flowers. I know she's on Instagram and she absolutely has a website too. So if you're interested, that's where they are from. Right here, the colonial tomatoes are doing really good. If y'all remember, this plant right here was looking really bad and I was going to pull the whole plant, but instead I just pulled the really bad leaves because we already had some tomatoes on them. So these look good. That first set does not. And we probably won't be eating them. But these are also colonials right here, y'all. A lot of them on these plants too, right there. And I harvested 2, I think, yesterday. So yeah, these are colonials. There's more back here. This is a great tomato year. I'm excited. If you remember, I planted a lot of red tomatoes, a lot of paste type tomatoes this year because I want to be able to make a lot of sauce and salsa this year. And so that's the plan. I have my kitchen table is pretty much covered in tomatoes. I'm letting them ripen and I'm just freezing them right now. And in the off season, that's when I will worry about actually processing them. So over here, we still have one of our squash plants. I'm gonna get this pulled. It's not producing, doesn't look great, but I also don't see anything. Oh, yeah, I do. I just saw it. I always see it on here with y'all when I pull it. Squash vine board, so we just gonna go ahead and pull that out. Yeah, and this is where the rattlesnake pole beans are going to go. And I'm gonna pull those nasturtiums. I'm gonna give that to the chickens later. But I'm gonna pull the nasturtiums too. These both are new garden beds. So the actual beds were here, but I made them into raised beds this year with the birdies beds from Botanical Interest. So I'm gonna pull the nasturtiums out too, and we're gonna work on this soil because you can see the rabbit manure is also still sitting on the top. So we're gonna work on this soil, and then rattlesnake pole beans are gonna go on this one. Back here are our cucumbers, y'all. They just look bad. They look real bad, tattered and torn. These are from Haas. They're the Haasenators right here. And then there's Mini Me on the other side. Now, the reason why I'm not pulling it is because the top of it, it got knocked over in the storm. The top looks fine. So we leaving it. We also have some female flowers on them. So we're gonna leave it. See what happens, y'all. And see down here, we have a cucumber forming. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a squash bug. It's the squash bugs. Y'all see it? Darn you squash bugs. Anyway, I'm gonna come out here and get those. But yeah, I mean all over these plants. But, well, not all over them. But when they do get on them, they're ruining them. Like, look at that. That's crazy. Anyway, like I said, top looks good, so we are going to leave them to continue to grow and hopefully get a harvest. All right, this jungle over here, baby, is elderberry. It is dahlia. It is St. John's wort that's probably trying to root in my soil. No, it doesn't look like it's rooting. Anyway, you got borage over here. Like, this a mess. It's a mess. We got to figure this out. This is not what I want. This ain't it, y'all. I could not figure out this space. Although the elderberries grow really nicely over here, I just can't figure out this space. You got the tomatoes that are in these horrible cages falling over into this, which I'm just gonna leave because it's got plenty of tomatoes on it. But oh my goodness, y'all. Yeah, this a mess. This whole little section is a mess over here. It's okay. We got unused bags back here. This is where the mullein was. It's died back. Need to clean that up too. It's that time of year though. It's that time of year. So let's just walk on around. Right here, you have more tomatoes. These are, I want to say, what are these? There's colonial in here, but there's also, oh, mountain merit. And I think it was the variety. I don't think that it was the sun, because we have plenty of tomatoes in here now. So this variety must have just had a longer days to maturity. Never went back to check, but there's plenty of tomatoes in here. There's one or two over there that's blushing. I missed yesterday, so I have to get that today. But it's looking good. I just don't like, I don't hate them, but they're not, I don't love them. See, like this should be inside of that, but it's not. It's on the outside of it. So let's see. Push it back in. Hopefully when it grows, it'll start to grow up. But like right here, these are all in the sunflowers, which, by the way, the sunflowers, I really love. I did not think I would love a one-head sunflower, but I do. I really like the way that they grow. Anyway, we'll get over there in a minute. They're from Haas, just don't remember which ones I put in there. Back here, you still have really nice looking snapdragon plants too. So that's exciting. This is a weed, so I'm gonna just go ahead and pull it. So this is a good place, I think, to put snapdragons because it does get shaded. The dahlias even still look much much better over here going over into that sunflower bed. So we love that. And then of course, you know, there's saffron in here. Well, you might not know, but there's saffron in this side of the bed. So we'll see if that comes back in the fall. Right here you have some paste tomatoes. I'm pretty sure they're Italian Romas, and I've been harvesting these. They're also starting to ripen. We're not seeing any more blossom end rot, so that's a plus. But there's tomatoes everywhere, y'all. And I am surprised. We're in July that these plants aren't dying out yet. Now, I'll cross my fingers, so maybe I'm not talking too soon. But yeah, like they're not looking really bad or worse for wear either. And I'm excited about that. And y'all know I use a sprinkler. You know, that's a no-no in the garden community. A lot of the garden community, they don't use sprinklers. They don't water from overhead. I do. I have way too much now to try to water the whole garden by hand, but I really do love to water by hand. So I will come through and, you know, try to water the bags by hand, for sure, the bags and the containers by hand. But I do turn the sprinkler on over here a lot. I did it last night before it rained too. So yeah, I'm surprised that these plants still look good. I'm very surprised, but I'm crossing my fingers, y'all. I never covered the blueberries. I did come through here and get all those weeds up too. There's some growing back, but I did come and get the weeds up. Didn't do it on camera or anything. But the black bean bed. Now, I think that the plants are starting to die out. That's what I think is happening here. Could be a watering issue, not 100% sure. But anyway, there are black beans on these plants, and so that's what's gonna happen. The beans are going to dry and the plant is going to die. So see, there's black beans all in here. So I think that's what's happening. I need to really pay attention to see how this, you know, kind of works throughout the year, because I always want to be able to grow black beans for the next year. So I'm just following it to see what happens. So I know in July they start to look bad. But look at these tomatoes in here, y'all. Supremos. That's another really big one right there. Yay! And someone was saying they really want to know, you know, what they taste like. So I have one in the house and I could tell which one is Supremo. I'm going to ripen it and then eat it separately to see how I like it. Of course, we have different taste buds. So I will tell you how I like it though. This black bean bed over here look bad, and it is not because they dying out, because I think I planted them much later, although they do have a lot of beans on it. So maybe it is. I be forgetting to water this. And the sprinkler don't always reach them. And that's why I think this bed looks like this. And it's a raised bed. So with that being the case, you gotta remember to water it. But look at all those beans. It could be that they dying out. It could be that. Could be they need to be watered better. And then you got this patio yellow over here, still producing, still looking good. Y'all, I'm so happy with this year's garden. I'm so happy with this year's garden. I have no complaints. Like even with the ants and aphids, I do complain about it, but the plants are still growing. Whatever is eating my beans, whatever is eating the cucumbers, the plants are still growing. Well, not them beans. We gotta pull them beans out. But y'all, I'm super excited about this year's garden. I'm serious. Like, I think this is my best garden ever. I really do. Anywho, front view of the sunflowers and the fact that very soon, I do believe, we gonna have some sunflowers growing. Oh, I can't wait to see them, y'all. I can't wait to see them. My sister really likes sunflowers, so I'm growing some so she could come and get some too. And then I want some on my table in the house. And when these are done, now what I do need to do is make sure I get some sunflowers planted and started to grow, because what I do need to do is make sure I have some more to replant right here. I love the way they grow. I really do. And like I said, they are from Hoss, but they're pro cut variety. So y'all had told me like you only gonna get one sunflower head. And I really like it. It's much less messiness than when I plant the really big ones. Although I really love the really big ones too. Update on the corn. It's growing amazingly. I need to fertilize it now. I do need to fertilize it. I know they're very heavy feeders, although I amended these bags really well. But anyway, I'm still gonna try to fertilize as much as I can, much as I can remember. But they're growing real well, y'all. And a few people said they didn't know that you can grow corn in bags. Now, I ain't never done this before, right? But the way I see it, and I've said this before, I think if you can grow it in soil, you can grow it in a bag. That's how I feel. Now, whether you want to grow it in a bigger bag than what I have here, you know, that's your preference. But as long as there's soil, I feel like it's going to grow, whether it's in a bag or whether it's in the ground. That's my thought. Then the last spot in here is the calendula and chamomile bed. I have not pulled it, have not done anything to it, because honestly, I simply, at this point, want these seeds to fall and drop in this soil, self-sow, volunteer, whatever you want to say, next year. Although I'm also thinking about putting a raised bed here. So I don't know. But I was talking about this and someone was saying how they grow things under their grapevine. And so I do use this bed, right? Putting a raised bed here makes me nervous because it's going to raise it up and it's going to be right under the grapevine. And I don't think anything would be successful, you know, other than in the fall. So I don't know. Anyway, right now the plan is leave these plants, just let them die out right here and hopefully drop their seeds. And so y'all, that's the main garden tour. Like that's everything that's growing in the main garden. I don't think I forgot anything. Oh, the flower bed. If you're not new here, you already know why I said that. You know, that's where I need to put a raised bed. I have rocks under this flower bed. When I started my garden, I was like, there's no way I'm finna try to dig up rocks that have been here for years. If you're not new here, you know I purchased my house from my grandmother, and as long as I've been alive, and as long as I can remember, those rocks were here. It's no way I was gonna dig them rocks out. So what did I do? I put cardboard over the rocks and I put soil over those rocks. So this bed has rocks up under it. So this might be a spot where I should put a raised bed, y'all. Oh yeah, I never really thought about that. Anyway, baby, it's weed lane. That's gonna be number one. Need to get these weeds out of here. Oh, it just looks horrible. It's not great, but I'm gonna show y'all because that's what I do. Look at that. But in the middle of all of this, in the midst of all of this, these dahlias said I'm gonna grow. And then you got this canna lily. Come get it. It's gonna take over. It's gonna try to take over. Another reason why I think if I put a raised bed over here, I might be able to get rid of these canna lilies, but they might just pop all the way through too. Oh, by the way, the what is it? Butterfly milkweed plant is starting to flower again, so that's beautiful. Echinacea, you know, it probably wouldn't be that bad over here if I cleaned it up like I said. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at that. Beautiful. Oh, don't break it, Asia. I already broke one, but that's okay. Look at that beauty. Okay, beautiful dahlia. So there is beauty in this mess over here, and I still ain't took this hollyhock out that is just dead. I don't be thinking about it, y'all. I don't be thinking about it. But yeah, look at the bees on the milkweed. You know, I feel like nature prefers it this way. I just don't prefer it this way. I mean, weeds everywhere. Girl, absolutely not. Anyway, that's the flower bed. But yeah. Oh, also, y'all know that I told y'all there's something out here. I think it's either blackberry or raspberries. Look right here. I'm not eating it. I'm not going to try it because I don't know what it is. But it is one of the two. I think it's raspberries. It's in between the fence. It's planted in between the fence. I've never actually seen the fruit until this year. And so when I talk about it, people, most of the time, somebody will say, you got to dig it up from the root. I don't know what a root at, babe. It's in between our fences. I have no idea what a root is. I didn't plant it. It was here when I moved here. So, well, we don't love that. When it rains, it wets up their bedding in the front. Got to figure that out. Maybe I'll try to figure out a way to put a tarp on this, and then when I know it's gonna rain, I let the tarp down. I don't know. That's the quail over there. They're doing great outside. They're doing absolutely great. I ended up removing 4 total, in case you're new here. 4 of them were being aggressive, so I ended up moving them out. Everybody else is doing great. So I'm happy about that. I never did get any more in the incubator. I do need to do that. Just trying not to overwhelm myself, baby. And the garden is doing so well that I have lots and lots of food. So I'm freezing a lot of stuff and we'll come back to it. Also need to kind of work through the stuff that's in my freezer to make space Anyway, this lemon green stock looked terrible, baby. I mean, it just looked terrible. It's okay. This is where we gonna put them yellow beans down here in the original pockets. We still working on these native. The herb green stalks look amazing. We really just need to go ahead and pull this guy. But listen, the reason why I'm not is because when I do water, it really does pop back up and it looks really good. So I think that's why I'm not. But y'all, look at all of this. The thyme is looking great. The rosemary is actually looking great, but that's another reason why I really try not to water this too much. Rosemary will die on the drop of a dime with too much water. Turn brown and die on you. Yeah, everything's looking good in here. These weeds mean they gonna be in here with my chives. Mean they gonna live in here. But anyway, the chives are flowering again. I ain't doing too much to them chives. I got a lot of chives. I harvested a lot. I preserved a lot of chives. So oregano at the bottom is starting to pop too. So I'm excited. That whole row at the bottom is oregano because oregano spread something terrible, baby. And we got some sage in here looking good. So if you want to grow some herbs, this is a good way to grow it. 42 pockets in here of herbs that you can grow. And I want to save enough herbs for a year. So that's why I'm doing it in here. This is another herb green stalk, not nearly as lush as this one because it doesn't have nearly as many plants. I need to plant more in there, but it's looking good. It's looking good. Ha, you got this strawberry one. It's looking better, and we have strawberries on it, if you can see right there. Another one right there. We have strawberries. We also have things starting to root. I just pulled it up, but it's rooting itself. I don't have anything in it that's holding it down. Rooting itself. Still have strawberries. Still have strawberries. Plants don't look amazing, but the strawberries are growing well in here. For the plants not to be looking amazing. And we lost a lot of plants here too. Lost a whole bunch of plants to my overwatering. So, you know, you live and you learn. Learning curve, and I'm okay with that. It's still fun to do and it's still fun to grow. This is the evergreen one that I said we probably gonna pull. Not probably, we are going to pull this stuff to get ready to plant some potatoes in here. These are my beautiful nasturtiums. They were so beautiful. They are at the end though. Nasturtiums just don't like a lot of heat, like I said. These orange hat tomatoes, this is a watering thing. This is me not watering. But looky at them marigolds, y'all. The marigolds were beautiful. We also have some more orange hat down here. I will say, I think the top dries out much quicker than the bottom tiers. Also, this one is totally on a lean now. It was not on a lean. So I think that when I clear this out, I'm probably going to take it down to a min, and at that point I will also go ahead to Lowe's somewhere and get a paver. But right now we still turning it. The marigolds are beautiful. You still have some basil over here that looks good, but it's not doing as well as it could. But that's all of my basil all over the garden this year. Oh my goodness. So y'all, I never got rid of this stinging nettle tote. It's just over here, right? And the stinging nettle will not die. It won't die. It just stung me. Good gracious. It got through my pants, through my tights. Anyway, how beautiful are you? It's so pretty. I need to check this, what is it? Squash plant, because I'm thinking we got squash vine borer. It has slowed down drastically. Oh, ah! We gonna pull this too. I think these are I don't know. We gonna pull this plant too. Girl, dog. Anyway, I hadn't seen those either. We see so much stuff together when we do these garden tours because it's a lot. And I don't come out here every day and look at every plant. I just don't. It's enough out here growing that if something dies or something gets eaten that, you know, I could just get it from somewhere else. And squash, I knew were not going to last very long. I knew they weren't going to last very long. I'm going to get that to the chickens, though, because they'll love those bugs. But anyway, in here you have cucumbers. You have beans. So, like, this is a cucumber plant. This is one of the straight 8s. You got a cucumber right there, if you can see it. Not straight 8, Space Master 80. I said straight 8. I've gotten one cucumber off here so far. You got peppers in here. These are big Berthas, so they're starting to produce, and that's a lot of flowers in there. And that's another one right there. I don't know what this is. I don't think it's a big Bertha though. I'm sure it has a tag somewhere. You got another Space Master 80 here. Some sunflowers. So yeah, this one looks really good. I like it. Then these beautiful marigolds. I can't remember what the name of them was, like Fire something. I bought them from a store around here. but they beautiful. Next one we have over here is our blackberry. Got some Swiss chard in here, bunch of pepper plants. They were extras. Also Big Bertha also started to provide us with peppers. I think that they grow really big peppers. I need to fertilize everything. I honestly don't know the last time I fertilized anything out here. So everything needs to be fertilized. That one looks really good. Got another strawberry one right here. Plant's not looking great, but producing strawberries. So we're not going to complain too much about it. It's another one right there. They're also started to produce their runners, which we need. We're gonna start putting those down into the soil. Haven't gotten around to it. Been talking about it for several tours now. It's okay. We have another one right here. Has quite a bit of empty pockets. Don't really know how this happened. Pretty sure I planted beans and I don't think that they germinated, or like this, they died. Anyway, we still got collards in here. What I'm hoping for is they make it into the fall and just start to grow again. And that's one right there. Got beans on here. Like I said, I planted beans, but I don't think they all germinated. You got a sunflower in here. I tore that leaf, crazy work. And you got marigolds in here, Swiss chard. All right, so yeah, that one is looking good too. Right here we have mostly black beans, but we also have, so see right here, got black beans in here, but we also have this one patio choice yellow left. I pulled the other one. It was pretty much dead. I didn't do it on camera, but we got this one left. Has a lot of tomatoes left on it. Once it is done, I will be pulling it, and this will be basically black beans. So yeah, these are gonna grow and dry on the plant too. These got planted after the ones out in the main garden. So they look like they're starting to kind of die out too. So, you know, I don't know, I'm paying attention. Anywho, look at the gazanias. They look beautiful, beautiful. So this is the flower one I was telling you I might clear for potatoes, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. It looks beautiful. And that's a dwarf sunflower plant. Take off these leaves down here. Like, yeah, it looks beautiful. So I'm gonna wait that out. I like it. Marigolds. This is a sun drop, I wanna say. Lemon delight. Lemon delight. This is a lemon drop. Very pretty. The eucalyptus back here doing amazing. I'm gonna have to move most of this stuff so we could put the greenhouse in. Crazy work. That's gonna be a lot of stuff to move, but I'm not in a rush for that greenhouse at the moment. It's too hot, y'all. It's too hot, and I think I wanna move it over a little bit to put some space in between the two greenhouses. Because I live on a swamp. I don't live on a swamp, I'm just being silly. I need to be able to get back here and get stuff like this off of this greenhouse, because that's gonna shade. If that continues to grow, it's gonna shade the stuff in the greenhouse. That's not what I want. So I need to figure out how to get back there now. If I took this down, just like to get it out of the way, I could get back there, but we're not worried about it right now. Anywho, back to the tour. We have another planter full of green beans. I mean, well, green beans, these are black beans actually. Another one that's gonna have them in here for a while to dry on the vine. The plant, but anyway, yeah, looks amazing. Over here, we have 2 3-tier raspberry green stalks, and they are looking amazing. We got patio tomatoes growing in here. I've done some harvesting this week from here because they are starting to blush. Probably gonna pull these out after they are finished with the tomatoes that's on them. I don't know that they're gonna produce any more, but we will see. You also got beans on here. You got pepper plants in here. This got ants and aphids. I need to put a ant trap over here. But yeah, these are looking pretty good too. So that is the green stalks that's in the main green stalk garden, because there are other green stalks on my property. So now we're gonna move into the greenhouses. Oh, let's talk about this orchard that ain't much going on in. So we got the apple tree, looks pretty bad. You got, well, not bad, but you know, it is growing more. I cut this down in the early summer, I guess, or late spring I cut it, but yeah, anyway. This is a peach tree that had peaches on it. The peaches have started to drop. They had plum core coolio. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm trying to decide, do I need an orchard? Do I need an orchard, or can this turn into garden space? Gonna definitely keep my grapevine. Definitely gonna keep my grapevine. just trying to figure out, do I need this? Because you got to have at least 2 trees, right? So you got to have 2 apples, you got to have 2 peaches. They have to pollinate each other. I'm trying to figure out, do I need it? I know somebody gonna be like, yes, you do. I'm trying to figure out, do I need it for myself? I don't know that I do. And maybe that's a hard decision I'm gonna have to make in my urban backyard. It can be done. Y'all have seen me do it. You've seen me pull peaches off of this tree. It can be done. I'm just trying to decide, is it worth the hassle for me? Because it is a hassle to me right now. But y'all know tomorrow I could be like, no, I got an idea. I don't know. Anyway, this is the orchard area. Also, I had to cut this tree. Like this stuff, when it, like this being this high, that is my fault. I did not do what I should have done. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out, is it worth it to me? Anywho, into the greenhouse we go. We have a greenhouse that looks really good, honestly. The plants in here look really good, especially the pepper plants. So this is shishito. This is jalapeno. We finally got jalapenos popping up. There goes another one down there. Finally got those popping up. Back here, if you remember, we harvested just about all of the candy cane peppers, but they just putting on more peppers now. The one over here doing the same. So that's exciting right here. Same thing with the shishito peppers. You know, we got more peppers coming after we harvested them. Looking really good. This one I still need to pull. I haven't gotten around to it, but it looks really bad. More shishito peppers. This right here is, yeah, I'm thinking the rosellas I might leave too. This sweet 100 gonna go. And then in the back, the Cherokee purples, they done died back, y'all. I still need to find a fan. So we just gonna pull these, but we're not gonna put nothing else back here. The Brass Atomic grape is looking decent. And we definitely gonna leave it long enough to ripen these tomatoes. And I think that, well, Great White got something up here. I don't know, we'll see, y'all. But yeah, the Cherokee purple definitely coming out. And we just gonna leave this area bare back here for now. But the rosellas have no problem in this greenhouse. So I'll keep that in mind. They are growing just fine in the greenhouse. The pepper plants, these are Big Berthas that we put in here to take out when we took out the Swiss chard and moved it to the green stalks. They are doing really well. I got the cages around them, so that's a plus. I did not get around to zip tying them. Not that it matters, I don't think, in here. But anyway, the watermelon looking good. Oh, my trellises came. We need to put the trellises up too. So that's probably something that we will do together on our next video as well, is get the trellises up in here. I'm not seeing any tiny watermelon yet, but I do see flowers. So that's, oh, yes I do. Saw it with y'all. Looky there. So we have one. I saw one so far. Tiny baby watermelon. Female flower is what it's called. Oh, cucumber beetle. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Oh, darn it. Or potato beetle. I don't know if y'all could see it. Anyway, they everywhere this year. So we're gonna get the trellises up on here too. Right here we have a eggplant. The leaves looking crazy. But I'm imagining that's from like the humidity in here. Because if it was flea beetles, it would also have a bunch of holes. Well, wait a minute. Maybe it is flea beetle. Either way, I have seen flea beetles kill a plant's leaves and still the plant grows fine. So that happens every year for me too. So there is that. Back here is the tomato green stalk. Color wise is called tomato. Looks awful. We have a bunch of nets in here too. The sunflowers came up and then they died because I was overwatering. So this is where some potatoes will go in the greenhouse. I'm a little concerned because it's hot in here. We're putting tomatoes in here. It's hot right now in here, 87 degrees, so not like overly hot, but it's much warmer than it would be if it was outside. But we're gonna try it and see what happens. Last but not least is our quick tent greenhouse, where I'm still trying to take care of this. It's not really throwing out a lot of the calyxes anymore. And when it does, I pull them off. Maybe it's trying to get established. I don't know, y'all. See, this is another reason why I wish I had started more patio tomatoes, because I could have filled this up when other things did not work. But I'll remember that for next year. And these are looking good. I do need to come in here and kind of take off some of the bad leaves. But I've been harvesting in here too this week. So anything that was blushing, I took that as well. But it's looking good. We got new flowers coming on. We got new tomatoes coming on. Last year, the patio tomatoes lasted. They would have like just kept going until they got killed by the frost. And I think that's what I'm gonna let them do in here this year, which also makes me kind of think I could just go ahead and start some more. It's July, and I think, you know, we have until November. So I probably could just go ahead and start some more. I might do that while also saying I didn't want to start any more summer seeds. It's okay. I want all of the tomatoes though. And if I can get them quick through a patio variety, I will do that. Also, this is actually the last because I forget to tell y'all about it. Anise hyssop in a pot, some comfrey in a pot, feverfew in a pot. Oh, look at my lemon balm. I need to come back here and get that. I want some lemon balm. Mint as well. I did go ahead and get those squash plants up. Look at all them squash seeds, y'all. There was squash sitting here. They ended up like dying, decaying, breaking down, but the seeds did not. And we had a whole bunch of volunteer squash back here. But I pulled those. The fig are still here. They have not fallen. I'm excited, y'all. We might grow some figs this year. We love that. Still don't see no figs on that tree right there though. So that is the garden. Oh, by the way, I always forget to show y'all this. This is the lavender. It's just over here doing this thing with no help from me. Also some cosmos volunteered in here too. Pansies, crazy, are still back here. I was not expecting to see a pansy back here. I kind of need to clean this up, but I do not do anything to this bed. It grows itself. And I did get a little bit of lavender. I think as the years go on, that lavender will just get bigger and bigger and bushier and look much better. But right now it's in a Vego Garden Easy Cube. It's self-watering, and so that's also why I don't really have to do anything to it. And lavender does it, puppy, no. And lavender doesn't need a lot of water, does not like a lot of water, will die with too much water. Anyway, that's the garden tour, y'all. And so tell me how your garden is doing. Let me know how this heat wave has done for you, because I'm very surprised that things are still kind of living. But like I said, the one thing I was making sure of is that it was watered, whether I put the sprinkler on it, whether I came out here and did it by hand. Made sure it was watered and then just see what happens. And that's what I did. Anywho, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.